Hello everybody, this is Gil Cruz with Dakota Boat Retriever, and today I want to show you how it's possible to never launch a boat by yourself again, especially when you have on hand your Dakota Boat Retriever. You know, recently I thought I would set out and just go to a local boat ramp where I knew that there was going to be a fishing tournament going on. And that way I knew I could capture some film of a lot of folks bringing in not only just fishing boats, bass boats in particular, but all kinds of boats, because this was a pretty popular ramp. And as the video will show, you know, the easiest way to launch a boat, and always has been the easiest way to launch a boat, is to have help. It's to have another pair of hands around that can give you aid while one person is in the vehicle and the other person is in the boat, and then they can launch just like we have right here. I mean, there's where obviously a bass boater got launched into the lake, and the same way a pontooner got launched in the lake. And both of those were really the simplest way to launch a boat. And as we can see here, there's just a series of these bass fishermen coming in, again showing us this is the easiest way to launch a boat, is when you have help at the ramp with you. And the difficulty comes in is when you do not have help. And it's interesting, as we slow the film down, here comes a gentleman who is in that situation. He doesn't have a helper with him, or his fishing buddy's not with him yet. And so he's going to launch this boat either the way that he was taught or the best way that he has discovered. And it is not too dissimilar from how we all do it. And in this particular case, he didn't want to get his shoes wet or his pants wet, so he just climbs up on the back of a boat, or on the back of his truck, you know, and then eases himself down on the tailgate there, and then out on the tongue of the boat. And then here he has to balance and keep himself balanced while he unhooks the winch from the D-boat on the front of the boat, in order to get his boat off his trailer. You know, and this is what the marine industry has left it to us to do, is to figure out how to launch the boat by ourselves. Now there's an interesting shot, the bass boat that just got launched with no one in it. And as I'll show you later, there's an argument there that even though he's alone, he's going to have help getting into his boat. He's going to hitch a rod whenever he goes and parks his truck. He's going to hitch a rod from another fisherman down there to get out to his boat. And while we're looking at that black and white boat floating away right there, this is not advisable, especially if you have winds that are up. You can already see he's in the way of the other boater, and so he just dumped his boat in the water and went off to park, while our gentleman in the blue shirt and the blue jeans is figuring out the best way to get his boat over and secured. And so again, he's done the very best that he can. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this, and it's done all around the world every single day. As well as we can see what he's doing, he's now put his trolling motor down, and he's just going to motor over to the dock, and I'm sure going to secure his boat there. And again, I just want to focus on the fact that even in this short period of time, that we've seen a number of boaters come and go, and it was very simple, very simple. And the reason why it was so simple is that they had help. They had an extra pair of hands that were available to them to get their boat in the water. So as we jump forward, you can see that he's used his trolling motor to secure his boat to the rocks there. He's now going to get in his truck and drive off. And this is probably about a 5 to 7-8 minute process where he's tying up the ramp. Well, in the same night, I caught this video just a little earlier, and I wanted to show it to you secondly, of another gentleman, same bass tournament, same night, same everything. And in this particular case, he has a Dakota Boat Retriever that is attached to the front of his boat, right on the nose of his boat. Now you can see that this gentleman is at a disadvantage in that he's going to have to do all of, not only doesn't have help, but his disadvantage is that he's going to have to do all this on a pair of crutches. And so what he's just done is he's grabbed the rope or the line from his Dakota boat retriever, and he's pulling it out, and he's just simply going to walk, and you can tell that he's, in this particular case, doesn't have to be in a hurry, but he just eases himself over to the courtesy dock there, and he's going to secure that line. I'm not sure how. He probably has a carabiner on the end of it, but he's going to secure it right there to one of the cleats that are on that courtesy dock. And then he just is going to walk back up to his truck, and he'll just launch his boat in the water and go park. Here we have another gentleman coming in. I don't know if he doesn't look like he's at the bass tournament. Well, he has help. He has help with him, and look at it. I think it's interesting to see the different ways. Again, there's nothing wrong. He has a pair of sandals on, but he chooses not to climb up on the back of his truck and go over the tailgate and onto the tongue of the trailer. And he even has help. Probably in that particular case, his helper wasn't confident in launching the boat by herself. It might be his girlfriend or his wife. But in that particular case, again, he has help, and he still had to get his feet wet. So our gentleman who has the Dakota boat retriever, you can see the Dakota boat passing just by that guy's head, and you can see the yellow rope too extending from the Dakota. So now our gentleman who has the Dakota boat retriever, what he's demonstrating here is that he really does have help at the ramp. Even though he's alone, he is the only person there to help get his boat in the water. He's not the only helper. And in this particular case, the Dakota boat retriever acts as his second pair of hands, the person in the boat, whom he has built trust in and confidence in, to launch once his boat is launched, to gently and easily and securely bring his Dakota boat retriever back over to the courtesy dock. Now you can tell that this courtesy dock is probably like most around the country. It's a little beat up, but it does have a nice little bumper system in place. And if it didn't have that there, then I'm sure he would have used some bumpers over the front of his boat. But it actually does have those bumpers in place so that he's confident that his Dakota, again, just nice and easily, shaky on the camera there, but very gently just brings it right up to that dock and secures it while our man is off parking his boat. So again, he has a second, even though he's the only person there launching the boat, he is not the only helper there, because with the Dakota boat retriever, as you can see in this particular angle, brings his boat nice and soft and gentle right back to the dock. And so here's what he doesn't have to do. He's not left to do the same strategies that the marine industry has left us with. It makes us climb on top of our boats. It's dangerous to have to do that, to reach out and over the backs of our trucks just to get our boats in the water when we are there by himself. And these techniques have been going on for the last 50 years that the marine industry has introduced to us sport boating. So again, I think it's probably advisable, if you ever want to have a friend or an extra helper with you at the ramp, that you get yourself a Dakota boat retriever, as this gentleman has. He's launched his boat, he steps in his boat by himself, off he goes for a great afternoon of fishing. I hope you found this video informative and instructional. I hope you pick up a Dakota boat retriever for your own real soon.